Imagine this. Jamaica announces tomorrow that massive oil reserves have been discovered just offshore. The headlines would explode. Investors would rush in. Politicians would celebrate a historic breakthrough. But here's the one question nobody seems to be asking. Will ordinary Jamaicans actually benefit? Or will this black gold create more problems than it solves? History shows us a very uncomfortable truth. For some nations, oil is a ticket to unimaginable wealth. But for others, it's a trap, leading to corruption, instability, and economic ruin. This is what economists call the resource curse. So, what would really happen if Jamaica strikes oil? Let's break it down, because everyone is talking about billion-barrel potential. But potential isn't production, and production isn't prosperity. Countries like Norway used oil to build generational wealth that benefits every citizen. Other nations with the exact same resource ended up poorer and more divided than before. The difference wasn't the geology under the ground, it was the governance above it. Today, we're going deeper than the headlines. If oil is found in Jamaica, who really wins? Who stands to lose? And what are the critical steps the country must take to avoid the resource curse and turn this potential into a real, lasting blessing for everyone? If you care about Jamaica's economic future, you need to understand this. Welcome to Island Economics. Like this video, subscribe, and let's build financial awareness together. So what actually happens when a country finds oil? History shows us two very different paths. One leads to extreme wealth and stability. The other leads to chaos, corruption, and economic damage. Let's look at both. When oil is discovered, foreign companies typically invest billions of dollars into exploration, drilling, and infrastructure. This creates an initial surge in jobs. The government's revenue skyrockets through taxes and royalties on every barrel pulled from the earth. Foreign currency floods into the country, strengthening the local dollar. On paper, it looks like a dream come true. But this is where things get complicated. Oil money is incredibly powerful, and that power can corrupt systems. If it's managed well, with transparency and foresight, it can build the foundations of a modern nation. We're talking new roads, world-class hospitals, better schools, and finally achieving energy independence. It can create national savings funds worth billions, securing the country's future for generations. But if mismanaged, that same money can fuel widespread corruption and political favoritism. It can create a society of haves and have-nots, widening the inequality gap. It risks severe environmental damage that could cripple other industries. And ironically, it can lead to massive economic instability. So the real question isn't, will Jamaica find oil? The real question is, will Jamaica be ready to manage it properly? Let's start with the optimistic scenario and look at the potential winners. First and foremost, government revenue. Oil royalties could bring in hundreds of millions, possibly billions of dollars over time. That kind of money could be used to pay down national debt, stabilize the Jamaican dollar, and fund long overdue infrastructure projects across the island. Second, jobs. And we're not just talking about workers on an oil rig. A new energy sector creates a ripple effect throughout the economy. It demands engineers, logistics companies, expanded port services, and maritime security. It requires new construction, transportation networks, and environmental monitoring teams. The job creation potential is significant. Third, energy costs. Jamaica is heavily dependent on imported fuel, which makes electricity and transportation expensive. If Jamaica starts producing its own oil, that reliance on imports could decrease dramatically. In the long term, this could mean lower light bills and cheaper gas prices for everyone. Fourth, an investment boom. An oil discovery puts a country on the global map. International banks, service companies, and strategic partners all want a piece of the action. Jamaica could transform into a major Caribbean energy hub, attracting a new wave of foreign investment that goes far beyond just oil. That's the dream. But now, we have to look at the other side of the coin, the risks and the potential losers. Please take a moment to subscribe to Island Economics for real, in-depth breakdowns on Jamaica and the Caribbean economy. Now, let's talk about a concept economists call the resource curse. It sounds dramatic, but it's a very real phenomenon observed all over the world. It's the paradox where countries with an abundance of natural resources, like oil, sometimes end up with less economic growth and worse development outcomes than countries with fewer resources. How is that possible? Well, it's often because of something called Dutch disease. Here's how it works. When all that oil money starts flowing into the country, the value of the Jamaican dollar could strengthen significantly. That sounds good, right? A strong dollar is a good thing. Not always. A stronger dollar makes Jamaica's exports more expensive for other countries to buy. Suddenly, Jamaican agricultural products, manufactured goods, and even tourism services become less competitive on the global market. As a result, those other vital industries begin to shrink. Farming declines. Manufacturing struggles. The country becomes dangerously over-reliant on a single commodity: oil. Another major risk is political tension. Oil wealth concentrates immense power and money in the hands of a few. If the general population feels that this newfound wealth isn't being shared fairly, or that it's only benefiting a select elite, it can lead to social unrest and political instability. And we absolutely must talk about the environmental risk. Jamaica's economy is built on its natural beauty. Our tourism and fishing industries depend on pristine coastlines and healthy marine ecosystems. A single major offshore oil spill could be catastrophic, destroying the very assets that have sustained our economy for decades. So you see, oil is not automatically a blessing. It's a multiplier. It multiplies good systems, good governance, and transparency. But it also multiplies bad systems, corruption, and inequality. Let's look at some real-world examples. Take Norway. Norway discovered oil in the North Sea in the late 1960s, but they made a crucial decision. Instead of spending all the money as it came in, they created a sovereign wealth fund. They treated the oil revenue not as income to be spent, but as a national inheritance to be saved and invested for the future. Today, Norway's government pension fund is worth over $1.5 trillion. They used their oil wealth to guarantee long-term stability for every citizen. Now compare that to other countries that rushed into spending. Many saw runaway inflation, wild fluctuations in their currency's value, and a sharp increase in political instability and corruption. The lesson is clear. Oil doesn't automatically create prosperity. Discipline does. Long-term planning does. And transparency does. The question is not whether Jamaica can find oil. The question is whether Jamaica can manage it with the discipline of Norway. So let's bring this closer to home. If oil is discovered off the coast of Jamaica, what would actually change for the average citizen? First, as we said, increased government revenue could mean more money for the things that matter: better roads, upgraded hospitals, modern schools, and reliable public infrastructure. Second, energy costs could decrease over time. Reducing our dependence on expensive imported fuel would be a massive economic stabilizer. But here's a critical reality check. The best jobs in the oil and gas industry are highly specialized. They require degrees in engineering, years of offshore drilling experience, and advanced technical training. If Jamaica doesn't start investing heavily in workforce training right now, before the first barrel is even pumped, those high-paying jobs will be filled by foreign workers. That means the oil revenue might stay in Jamaica, but the wages of the money that supports families and local businesses will leave the country. Preparation is everything. If oil is found, Jamaica must act decisively before the boom begins. Here's what smart countries do to avoid the resource curse. 1. They immediately create a sovereign wealth fund, just like Norway. The oil revenue is legally mandated to be saved and invested for future generations, not spent by today's politicians. 2. They demand transparent contracts. Citizens must have the right to know exactly how much oil companies are paying the government and exactly where that money is going. 3. They protect their existing industries. Strict, non-negotiable environmental regulations must be in place to safeguard tourism, fishing, and our natural environment. 4. They focus on diversifying the economy. The goal is for oil money to strengthen agriculture, technology, and manufacturing, not replace them. And 5. They invest massively in education. They create programs to train Jamaicans for the high-skilled energy jobs of the future, ensuring the benefits are shared by the local workforce. If these steps are taken, oil becomes a national advantage. If they are ignored, oil becomes a national argument. But let's end with an honest reality check. Oil exploration does not guarantee discovery. Geological surveys can suggest potential, but only drilling confirms reality. And even if oil is found, it has to be economically viable to extract. It must be accessible, and it must be profitable after accounting for the massive costs of drilling and production. So for now, we must remain informed, not emotional. Oil could change Jamaica forever. But it will be policy, leadership, and citizen awareness that determine whether that change is positive or painful. The future of our nation won't be decided by what lies in the ground. It will be decided by the integrity, vision, and discipline of the people above it. What do you think? If Jamaica finds oil, will it ultimately help the country, or will it create a new set of problems? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more videos like this about Jamaica's future, make sure you subscribe to Island Economics. Because our future isn't just about what we find, it's about what we do with it.